Now, growing public anger about the use of hotels to accommodate asylum seekers has led the government to review its position and continue using Napier barracks in Folkestone.
Well, the former army camp was expected to close next month, but charities supporting the people inside Napier say its continued use is inappropriate. Well, Tony Green is outside the site for us this evening. Tony, this was only supposed to be a temporary solution.
That's right, and that temporary solution next month will have clocked up 5 years, and next month was also supposed to be the time when Napier Barracks was closed, everybody moved out, and the keys handed over to the developer who's built homes all around here. In the 5 years that Napier Barracks has been used for asylum seeker accommodation, there have been houses surrounding this site, but not really connected to this site at all.
But Tony, now it looks like the site will be staying open.
Well, that's right. We've known for around 6 months now that the government has intended to close Napier Barracks, and that's been widely known, and in that time the number of people inside has been slowly reduced, but we've been led to understand now that that might not happen straight away, and the organisations that have been supporting migrants who are inside have wound themselves up thinking that they weren't needed anymore. One of those is the Napier Drop-In Centre, and I'm joined now by Sally Huff, who's one of the directors. Sally, you're in close contact with some of the people inside. Around 50 of them were given letters told that they were expected to move.
Look at them, fucking
but now that's not the case. What's happened since?
So they were supposed to move today, but this hasn't happened. Don't really know why. We think it might be to do with the fact that the government is planning to make some kind of extension of use of the site, and this may be due to the fact that it's more problematic to use hotels at the moment. One of the problems is that we don't get told what's going on until the very last minute, and by that point, like you mentioned about charities winding themselves up, that's something that's started to happen to our organisations and to other organisations working on site. So we can't apply for funding. We can't just suddenly pull the rabbit out of a hat and continue working. So that's
growing public resentment about the amount of money that's being used on a hotel accommodation. And there are organisations like Migration Watch that says, okay, well, Napier Barracks isn't ideal, but if it was good enough for British soldiers, why isn't it good enough for asylum seekers? What would you say to that?
Well, I would say that actually it wasn't good enough for British soldiers because they haven't been using it for a very long time. I think it's about 2015, and then only sporadically for training exercises. So I know that it hasn't been used for a long time. And also the alternatives to this type of accommodation, like ex-student housing, ex-care homes, tower blocks, these are not fit for human habitation. They're not being used for students or elderly people for a reason, so why should they be used for asylum seekers?
Well, one of the people who can tell us what it's like inside is a chap we spoke to earlier on today. His name's Waleed, and he spent 70 days inside Napier Barracks.
I felt every hour and every minute passed by, people were counting the days. It felt like prison where you're serving an unsolicited sentence for a crime that you didn't commit. And if you didn't make any friends, it was a very long, lonely wait. Because it was a very secluded facility that was shrouded away from society. You couldn't make any friends outside of the camp. You couldn't really connect to the community.
I'll tell you, what does the Home Office have to say about this?
Well, we asked them when Napier Barracks was going to be closed. We asked them what sites were being considered as an alternative. They've not answered any of those questions. Instead, they've reiterated their intention to stop using hotel accommodation, although this isn't a hotel, by the end of this Parliament. All other questions have not been answered.
OK, Tony, for now, thank you.
Load of bollocks.
Now we are a nation of garden lovers.